All right, we've got a box right here, JT.
Oof.
Shoe box,
Oh,
maybe.
maybe.
What we got though is this little kind of angel wings and halo piece going on. And what you realize is that this larger piece is actually a ball sack.
Whoa, look out.
We're talking Manscaped right here, which I'm not gonna lie, I've used Manscaped products before.
Okay.
However, this package, I've never received anything like this before.
Yeah.
So let's have a look.
It's exciting.
You opened yours yesterday?
I did. I got mine yesterday. It's very cool.
Holy shit, bro. Look at this. We got like a bunch of stuff going on, but we got a little thank you from Manscaped, customer service piece. We got, holy shit. Okay, all right, things have upgraded. We got like a selection of different like products here. We got the crop cleanser, the foot duster, the cologne. Jesus Christ, man. Oh my God. So, all right, so let me level with you guys.
Core products.
My partner bought me a Manscaped trimmer about 2 years ago, and that trimmer has kept my balls in incredible shape, like pristine. And I think I've charged it once in the
wow.
2 years that I've had it.
Oh, wow.
The battery's amazing and it's waterproof, but this is the whole upgraded shit. What's beautiful about this is that they've got the full line of products now.
They do.
So it makes that one little Christmas gift trimmer that I got 2 years ago look like shit.
This is the Lawnmower 4.0. And the funny thing is it looks small and compact, but it's actually...
Oh, it actually turns on straight out of the
Yeah.
box. Sick.
It's got a little bit of weight to it.
Yeah, it feels like a quality little build.
Yeah, it's very nice.
All right,
Accessories.
all right.
There's
bits
charger
and
in there,
pieces,
which is
charger
very
in there.
nice.
Holy shit, yeah, okay, we've got different blades, so
Yeah.
you can trim your shit. I mean, look, the beauty is for me, like I'm not a particularly hairy guy, so this stuff's pretty straightforward. This Neanderthal over here, man, this guy grows hair like fucking I tap white belts. Bro, we got little boxes, sick, anti-chafing boxes, very nice.
We've got the Crop Reviver Ball Toner.
And the Crop Preserver, the ball deodorant.
It
Is that real?
smells good. I think I'm just going to wear this as cologne.
Give me something.
I'm just going to...
I gotta crack.
I'm just going to hit a bit of that.
I've got to crack the seal on this bad boy.
Oh, it smells good.
Oh, that does smell good.
Man, I'm just going to be wearing this.
Awesome.
It's so good. And if we go underneath...
Oh, bruh.
Primo. Look at
Carry
that.
case.
Yeah,
That's
boy.
sick. What's that? The shed.
Yeah, that's
Mad.
super nice. Manscaped, yeah.
Refining?
the gentleman. Mate, so nice.
Guys, get on it. Use the code GRIZZLY at checkout and you'll get 20% off any Manscaped products and you'll also get free shipping. That code is GRIZZLY for 20% off and free shipping. Get something for your dad, get something for your brother, get something for yourself. What's the best warm-up for BJJ? The truth is, there's many ways to skin this cat. However, this routine that I'm about to take you through is simple, it's effective, and for that reason, it is our best warm-up for BJJ white belts. So when we're trying to put together the ideal warm-up, we want to take into account a few things. Time is of the essence. Generally, you don't have a lot of time between arriving at the academy to when the class starts. So we want to have a warm-up that can slot into that short space of time you have. So we're thinking 5 to 10 minutes at the most. Now, obviously, you're going to do your class warm-up, but if you know us, we're not big fans of the typical jiu-jitsu class warm-up. So what we're doing here is designed to complement what you're then going to be going and doing in class. A couple of other major things we want to consider. Mobility. Most of us will have restrictions in how we move, and this will come down to tightness through the joints. If we can look at the body in two simple parts, we've got the lower body and we've got the upper body. Now, the tighter your lower body is, that's going to hold you back from being able to play a strong top game, being able to base, being able to defend takedowns, and being able to pass. But it's also going to make guard really hard for you. You notice that a lot of guard play in jiu-jitsu involves articulation of the hips. Pull your knees into the chest, rotate the hips, a lot of internal and external rotation. So if you're tight through the hips, all of that stuff's going to be really tricky for you. So we want to make sure we get a really good dose of hip mobility in our warm-up. For the upper body, we also want to give a little bit of time to opening up through the shoulders and also through the spine and upper back. Again, the tighter and more restricted you are in these areas, the less you're going to be able to move on the mats, and probably the quicker you're going to get tapped out. So if we can have better movement, we have more options when we find ourselves in a sticky situation. Now, there's two other key components to this warm-up. First is making sure we're getting good activation of key muscle groups. And for a lot of us, we spend a lot of time sitting down all day and the glutes become relatively inactive. The glutes are what drive the hips, and it's really important that we get these things fired up. So we've got one of our favorite drills in here to make sure we're getting those glutes activated. It's gonna help you be more athletic on the mats, and it's also going to protect your lower back. And then the last piece is that we wanna start to get some athletic work done. So we wanna get something that's gonna move us into this dynamic state of jiu-jitsu training. And we're using a hopping drill for that. And the beauty of the hopping drill is twofold. It gets you activated, it gets your proprioceptive juices flowing, it's gonna get your nervous system switched on, but it's also gonna help to protect the joints of the lower body. So the ankles, the knees specifically, and the hips all benefit from having some hopping drills in your warm-ups. Really important. We've only got 5 drills, we've only got a short space of time. We wanna make sure each of those drills gives as many benefits as possible. Let's take a look at the drills. First drill we're looking at is called a tabletop press, and we're using this drill to essentially open up through the upper body. So you're gonna get a nice stretch through the pec, through the shoulders, down into the biceps. You're also gonna be getting a bit of mobility through the forearm and wrist, and then it's just gonna be doing a bit of work to get the hips active as well. Tabletop press is really simple to get into. I'm seated, I have my feet at hip width, and then I'm gonna place my hands behind me. Now, I wanna have my hands at around shoulder width, okay? So I don't wanna have them too wide. I wanna have a nice kind of strong position here on them. Now, you can play with which direction your fingers are pointing. The easiest starting point is to have your fingers pointing back. From here, I pull my shoulders back and down. I brace through the midsection, so I'm keeping some tension in my abs. And then I drive through the heel and squeeze my glutes at the top. All right, it's important as I go through the press that I'm keeping the shoulder blades pulled back and down, okay? You notice I'm keeping my abs slightly braced so that I'm not just arching my back and sticking my tummy out. I wanna keep a neutral spine position so that I push the stretch into my shoulders and my hips. Now, to change what's happening there a little bit, you can turn the fingers to face outwards. You can work there. It changes slightly the stretch that you're getting through the shoulder, and then you can even, for a slightly more challenging variation, try the fingers pointing forwards. You're gonna perform 10 to 15 reps, and then I want you to hold the last repetition for 10 seconds. The second drill we're gonna perform is called an active pigeon, and I'm gonna show you 2 variations of this, one that's a bit easier, one that's a bit more challenging. This drill is gonna help to loosen up or open up all this stuff around the glutes and the lower back, and it's gonna get your hip rotation moving nice and fluid, okay? So the setup will be here in a lunge position, okay? Now I'm just gonna push this knee outwards, and I'm gonna place my hands on the floor. My foot is positioned in the middle of my hands here, okay? I'm not directly alongside the foot, I'm just in front of it. From here, I'm gonna keep a long spine, and I'm gonna pull this knee down towards the ground. I take it as far as I can, feeling a good stretch on the outside of the hip, and then I reset. I'm gonna perform my repetitions here. On each rep, I'm trying to get a little bit deeper by taking my knee closer to the floor. Now, if you wanna make it harder, you're gonna lift the back knee off the ground and you'll perform the reps here. There's now more load in the stretch, which I like, but if you feel it's a bit challenging for you, stick with the knee. And if you need to make it a touch easier again, you can also just hang out in this position. You don't have to keep moving through it. You can just stay there for 30 to 45 seconds. For the active pigeon, I want you to perform one set of 10 to 15 reps, and then you'll hold the last repetition for 10 seconds. The third drill we're looking at is the Cossack squat. We're using this drill to open up through the inside aspect of the hips, which again is obviously very important for how you play your guard. But we're also using this to start to warm up the legs to do a bit of work, because what's happening in a Cossack squat is we're performing a squat and it's leaning into a single leg. So it's starting to load that leg up, load the knee joint, load the ankles. And this is really important because once we get on the mats, people are going to be jumping all over you. You're going to have load on you. So it's the ideal thing to be able to replicate some of that in our warm up so the body is prepared. So for this, feet are out around double shoulder width. You'll have to play around width for you. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm leaning out to one side and I'm starting to squat down. Now, as I do this, you'll notice I rotate this foot towards the ceiling. My knee is locked and the foot is pulled back. And I will bring myself as low as is comfortable. I will then move to the other side and perform the squat here. Now, if you're new to this, or if you're really tight through the lower body, you may not be able to get particularly deep. What's important is that you go as deep as you can. So if you're finding a big stretch here and this is tough, that's great. Keep working with it, and over time, your range will improve. But if you're feeling pretty mobile and you've got more depth to it, I want you to take it as deep as you can while staying tight and controlled through the position. So I'm keeping a bit of tension in my abs. I'm making sure that the squatting knee is positioned over the toes. It's not buckling in like this, okay? And I'm staying as upright as possible through my torso. Note on the Cossack squat, if you have tight ankles, you might find it hard to keep your foot flat when you come into the bottom position, and your heel will lift off the ground like this. It's a really good goal from an ankle mobility perspective to try to keep the heel down. But in terms of getting the hips warmed up and getting us prepped for jiu-jitsu, it's totally okay if that heel does lift off the ground. The most important thing is that you're staying controlled through the position. For the Cossack squat, I want you to perform a set of 16 alternating reps. All right, so we've hit our 3 big mobility drills. Now we're gonna get into some glute activation work. We're gonna be using our side hip raise for this. This is a great drill before BJJ, great drill before anything, weightlifting, running, whatever you're doing. My elbow is positioned underneath my shoulder, and then you'll notice I'm leaning down on my knee and on my hip, okay? I sit my other knee on top. What I want to do from here is first keep a very stable shoulder position. So you'll notice I'm not sinking into it, but I'm staying nice and supported through this shoulder. I'm now going to press into the elbow and into the knee, and I'm going to drive the hip off the floor. Now in this top position, my glutes are engaged, so I'm squeezing the butt, and you notice I've lifted my top leg. I will lower with control until this hip gently touches the floor, and I will press up again. The idea here is that I'm keeping the tension on the glute, which is working on this right side, and I'm never resting when I get to that bottom position. I want you to perform 10 repetitions on one side, 10 reps on the other. All right, so the 5th drill, last one. This is gonna be some hopping. Now I'm gonna give you a couple of variations. I don't really mind which one you use. Start with the easiest stuff and then work your way up. What's important though is that we're meeting the qualities that we want from hopping. So I want you to stay light on the feet. I want you to land primarily on the ball of the foot, but at the bottom of the jump or the hop, your heel will gently touch the ground. What I don't want you to do is to bottom out and hit the ground heavy, okay? So we're trying to be light and agile here. So first variation, we're just gonna go side to side, and I want you to pick an imaginary spot on the floor. So I can see like a little fleck of dust or something on the mat here. I'm just gonna use that, and all I'm gonna do is go side to side over that point. Notice my elbows are in, I'm light on the feet, and I'm keeping my body line tight, all right? We're looking for control and consistency here. Now, if that's pretty easy for you, then we can make that a touch harder. We're now gonna go to a single leg. Again, keeping the body line tight, keeping the elbows in by the side. For the hopping work, remember, the quality is the main thing we're looking for. I want you to perform 20 repetitions in total on each leg. So remembering what we went through today, we want to make sure we're hitting our key mobility areas and open up those joints that are holding us back on the mats. That was our tabletop press, our Cossack squat, and our active pigeon. Then we want to get the main muscle groups activated that are going to help us to perform better on the mats, as well as starting to light the nervous system up to prep us for more athletic work. And that was the side-lying hip raise and also the hopping. If you need any extra help with your strength or mobility training for BJJ, we have a program that is designed for you. Go to bulletproofforbjj.com. You can start a free trial, and then you can see exactly what we have available as a member of the program. We have multiple different strength and mobility programs designed for you, the busy BJJ player who doesn't want to spend hours in the gym per week, but wants to improve strength and mobility. We have the best exercises and the best structures to help you be as prepared as possible for jiu-jitsu. Go to bulletproofforbjj.com and start your free trial today.